Welcome to another production of Source Selection Soundbites. These productions foster learning, insight, and the ability to perform. Today's topic is the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule. Today we will discuss the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule basics, the applicability of the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule, and the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule exception. The foundational concept that undergirds the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule is affiliation. Affiliation occurs when certain factors lead the SBA to see two or more contractors as one contractor, and thus their receipts are combined to determine their size for the subject procurement. In accordance with 13 CFR subsection 121.103 section A1, concerns and entities are affiliates of each other when one controls or has the power to control the other, or a third party or parties controls or has the power to control both. It does not matter whether control is exercised, so long as the power to control exists. When determining whether two or more contractors are affiliated, the SBA considers factors such as ownership, management, previous relationships, or ties to another concern and contractual relationships. The concept of control may be positive or negative. Positive affirmative control refers to a situation where a company or individual has a direct and decisive influence over the decisions and operations of another entity, often a subsidiary or business venture, ensuring their actions align with their own objectives. Negative control includes, but is not limited to, instances where a minority shareholder has the ability, under the concern's charter, bylaws, or shareholders' agreement, to prevent a quorum or otherwise block action by the board of directors or shareholders. However, SBA will not find that a minority shareholder has negative control where such minority shareholder has the authority to block action by the board of directors or shareholders regarding its list of extraordinary circumstances. When an award is made for an acquisition set aside for small business concerns, the size of the business can be protested. If successfully protested and the aggregate of receipts disqualifies the business, the award is likely to be terminated. However, if the business is found to be generally affiliated, the business will be ineligible for all other set-aside work under the same or lower size standard. In the last slide, we said when an award is made for an acquisition set aside for small business concerns, the size of the business can be protested. One way that a small business set-aside award can be protested in terms of business size is the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule, because if a business combination is adjudicated as being affiliated in accordance with this rule, it is likely the award will be lost. The limitation on subcontracting guards against pass-through performances by limiting the amount of work that can be subcontracted to other entities. The Ostensible Subcontractor Rule applies an additional layer of protection by requiring that a small business awarded a set-aside contract actually performs the primary and vital work on a contract and not be overly reliant on a non-similarly situated subcontractor. It is important to note the rule does not apply to similarly situated entities, which are defined as subcontractors that have the same small business program status as the prime contractor. That is, the rule is only applied to subcontractors that are not similarly situated with a prime. The second prong of consideration is whether the non-similarly situated contractor performs the primary and vital requirements of the statement of work. The primary and vital requirements refer to the core, essential tasks and responsibilities that define the principal purpose of the contract as outlined in the solicitation. Lastly, prong is being unusually reliant on the subcontractor. That is, the contractor does not have the requisite capabilities to perform the contract without the subcontractor. A notable exception and defense against being found affiliated under the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule is forming a team of similarly situated small businesses. The rule says the SBA will find that a small business prime contractor is performing the primary and vital requirements of the contract or order and is not unduly reliant on one or more subcontractors that are not small businesses, where the prime contractor can demonstrate that it, together with any subcontractors that qualify as small businesses, will meet the limitations on subcontracting provisions set forth in the SBA's regulation. That is, if a prime or the prime and a similarly situated entity meet the limitation on subcontracting set forth in the regulation, the agency will not find that the prime has an ostensible subcontractor. Let's wrap this up. In this episode of Source Selection Soundbites, we discussed the basics of the Ostensible Subcontractor Rule. Second, the applicability of the ostensible subcontractor rule. And third, an exception to the ostensible subcontractor rule. Thank you for watching another episode of Source Selection Soundbites. For additional information, check out some of the other videos in this series, other Productivity Partners materials, or our Source Selection Answer app that is available on the Google Play Store and Apple Store. In any event, thanks for watching, and see you next time.